Hey everyone, Tankenstein here, and welcome to Half-spaded. In this episode, I'm bringing you the M47, which is a currently rank 5, battle rating 7.3 medium tank for the American Ground Forces tech tree. This vehicle is perfect for Half-spaded, being that it is a totally optional vehicle to unlock and purchase in order to move through the tech tree, whereas the M46, which shares its same spot in the tech tree, is the required vehicle. Now that being said, if you guys don't already know, in Half-spaded, I bring this vehicle from stock in the first game, about halfway spaded in the second match, and then fully spaded in the third match, going over how this vehicle plays in each and every way. So from the first match, how it is to play it fully stock. In the second match, again, about halfway spaded. And in the third match, I go over how it feels when it's fully spaded, fully researched, and also go over whether or not, again, I think that this vehicle is worth purchasing and crewing. Again, being that it is totally optional. So that being said, just before I get into the actual gameplay here, we do have several key differences here between this and the M47. So first and foremost, this is a 7.3 BR tank, whereas the M46 is a 7.0. This also has two HMGs, whereas this M46 has one HMG and one LMG. Further, the M47 has a better cannon, so this does have the M46 cannon, whereas the M46 has the M48A1 cannon, which means that the M47 actually has slightly better armor pen throughout pretty much with every single type of ammunition that it has compared to the M46. Additionally, the M47 does have better turret armor in the front, though worse turret armor on the sides, again compared to the M46. And finally, the upper glacis is a bit better on the M47 compared to the M46, being that it does have a slightly steeper angle, which correlates to around 30 to 40 degrees more, or millimeters more, of effective armor on the M47 from a straight-on shot compared to the M46. So the frontal armor, despite being the same thickness, is substantially more effective due to that better sloping. Now, that being said, let's get into the stock-to-spaded matches here. First match, again, being fully stock, and see how this thing performs. One of the absolute worst things in ground forces is starting a match about 30 seconds to a minute after everyone else, if not longer after. But starting a match late sucks. And especially when you're fully stock, it really, really sucks. So that being said, this vehicle has pretty decent power to weight ratio. It's got decent enough mobility. Not fantastic, but what you'd more or less expect from a tank around this BR. It's got the same exact engine and same horsepower as a result as what we see on the M46. Now, it does weigh 0.3 tons more than the M46 and does not have the add-on armor that the M46 has. So the M46 weighs 0.3 tons less than this, while the M46 has that additional kind of like fence armor around the turret. Now that armor does help protect against things like heat and heat FS, which is very, very nice, as very much welcome, but not at all required, of course. But around this BR, especially having any sort of protection against heat and heat FS is not very bad. Not too shabby. Is that an enemy? Okay. Is he? I don't think he's actually in there. Okay, good. Perfect. RU-251. What got him? T-54. I'm assuming it's going to be over here. Gonna back up. Now, it's got decent enough reverse speed, which is obviously quite nice. But overall, I mean, this cannon has around 15 millimeters more of armor pen compared to equivalent shells that the M46 might fire. So for example, the heat FS has around 15 millimeters more armor pen. The AP has 15 millimeters more, which, by the way, the AP on this is not terrible, but it's not at all good. It's just kind of so-so. It's got around 200 millimeters of armor pen at max, but that's under ideal circumstances. So 0 degrees. Is that... Do we have someone still alive there? So we're looking at 0 degrees, 10 meters. So again, ideal circumstance. Nothing likely to actually happen in battle. Now, more likely, somewhere around 500 meters and 30 degrees of engagement, we are looking at around 130 millimeters of armor pen, which for solid shot AP really is not fantastic. It's not something that you want to, you know, brag about. But at least it's something. It could be worse. But again, I mean, it's pretty standard for around this BR. And it can, especially with the right hits, actually knock out a tank. So it looks like we might even have another tank somewhere around here. We might have one right here, if I can see him. Okay, perfect. 3 kills. So, I mean, overall, thus far, this is not too bad of a tank. Again, fully stocked. As you can see here, 10 millimeters, got 193 millimeters of armor pen. But again, you want to look at the 500 or 1,000 meters and 30 degrees. That's going to be a more realistic approach to it. And it's not bad, you know. And additionally, it does have that nice, more sloped armor compared to the M46. So if you like the M46, this is pretty much just an improved vehicle. It's like an M46, but better. Okay, we have some enemies. We have a bunch of enemies everywhere. Okay, that was kind of stupid there, but not too bad. I got totally wombasted right there. So that said, let's get this halfway spaded. Gonna get about half the upgrades and all that, and then let's get into it. Okay, so it appears as though there is a person in here. Maybe not. Not entirely sure. Maybe he's to the left here. Yes, he must be in this portion. So I'm going to crash through and hope. Anyways, this is my halfway spaded match. Oh, there we go. Wow, okay. That was... whoever spotted that guy for me, thank you. But yes, this is my halfway spaded match. So I've got an engine... well, I'll post the mods on the left side of the screen if I've not done so already. Got him! Kind of. Got the loader. That is very nice. Come on. Nice! Got the enemy kill assist. So anyways, I will post the mods on the side of the screen if I've not already done so. But, you know, this thing is already, I mean, with the engine, it sees a major boost in performance as any time that you'll put an engine in any vehicle. But really, probably the biggest thing here, along with the engine, not aside from, but along with, is going to be the fact that this has access to that Heat FS. And Heat FS is just phenomenal at this BR. You know, I really can't say it enough. Ooh, this is a big chunky tank here. Can't really get through. But Heat FS is just very, very important at this BR. You know, it's something that a lot of people kind of, in higher BRs, for good reason, look past and they kind of scoff at because you have heat or ERA and things of that nature. But here, that doesn't really apply. So I'm going to move up. I might go to the 8 point to get some, you know, conscript some new crew from the local populace. We'll see what happens. But I'll probably go over here to the left first. See if there's an enemy here. Not yet. Okay, we got someone over here. There he is. Got the gunner. Nice. So I've got an HMG right here in the front of the vehicle. So even if my other crew is destroyed, that HMG still works perfectly fine. Okay, got the engine. Okay, let's try one more time and go through it this time and kill him. Okay, got the transmission. Okay, I'm gonna shoot right through the upper portion here. There we go, finally. Got myself my second kill and 1 assist thus far. None too shabby-dabby, cannot complain. Time to go conscript crew members from, again, the local populace, because that's really, I mean, we have to assume that's what's happening, you know? Like, where are these crew members coming from for my M47? I think I'm just kind of like plucking them up from the local village and saying, you are a crew member now. Okay, we have some enemies pretty much everywhere here. So, let's see. There he is, there he is, there he is. Got the driver and the gunner. Perfect. Ooh, that kind of scared me. I thought that was something else entirely. Can I shoot through? I can, but it was only a T-44, an expected kill, if anything else, or if nothing else. So thankfully I've got 3 of my crew members still alive here. I was able to use my crew replenishment. I mean, this vehicle with that heat FS is just, I mean, it totally transforms it. You know, halfway spaded, this thing feels great. Really just very, very good. So I'm going to try to flank around. I don't believe he knows I'm here. If he does, I will have been played for a fool, and I've not been played for a fool, but he got me. Well, actually, no, I was played for a fool. So anyways, 3 kills, 1 assist, and 1 gravely injured T69-2G, because of course I'm in a total up tier. So that said, let's get into the fully spaded match, see how this is, but otherwise, been pretty good thus far. So right before we get into the last match, don't worry, it'll be in just a few seconds. Just wanted to point this out real quick, is that on the armor profile, and I just noticed this, it's only got 22.2 millimeters of armor. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, isn't there the turret ring that's 63.5 millimeters of armor? I don't really think so, at least based on the armor protection here. So as you can see, it's only got 24 millimeters of armor protection right there, and just really all around the turret. This is a huge, huge weak spot that is typically not going to be seen on any other vehicle of this BR, especially a medium tank. So if you're looking to kill the M47, this is how, and it's not even all that present on, for example, the M46. As you can see here, it's doesn't really have all too much of a turret ring. It does have, or visible turret ring, it does have this 22.2 millimeters thick of armor, but it's well angled. And then on the M48, you do have this. It is a 70 millimeter thick turret ring, but it's substantially thicker. So just something to bear in mind if you are looking at the M47. It has a huge weakness around that turret ring. That said, let's get into the final match. So here we are in the final match, and you know, being that this is the fully spaded match, I just kind of want to go over how exactly I feel about this vehicle, how it's been going from, like I said, fully stock all the way up here to spaded. And I'll tell you guys this, I mean, I'm quite impressed. So I actually just got done filming the AMX 50 TOA 100 video, stock to spaded video, and I'll tell you, I mean, this thing, it's weird in a way, because they take 2 very different approaches to kind of the same challenge, right? So they're both medium tanks. They both have armor. They both have, you know, good mobility. But what I find here in the M47 is that this has a more competent shell, although, of course, that has a better cannon. And what I mean by that is that that's got a 100 millimeter cannon, whereas this has a 90 millimeter cannon. But, of course, this also has heat FS, whereas that does not. So this goes through actually around 40 to 50 millimeters more of armor compared to what you see on the TOA 100, which is nice. You know, genuinely, it's very, very nice. You can shoot through a lot more stuff with this versus, again, a similar BR TOA 100. So I'm going to shoot that. Perfect. Okay. Now, that being said, though, some notes on this. And so this is quite a bit different than the M46 that it descends from, and also quite a few other tanks. So, kind of to start here, this has a rangefinder. It's not really something that a lot of other things do. And if you see that large line that goes across the front, that's the rangefinder. It's very, very nice. It helps to ensure very quick measuring, accurate measuring. Of course, it does not auto-adjust your cannon. So, unfortunately, there's, you know, not that capability, but it is also a 7.3 BR vehicle. Second, this has a 30 degree per second turret traverse, which is phenomenal. I mean, seriously, that's absolutely phenomenal, because that's 50% better than what you get on the M48A1, and that's around 70% better, or around 2 times as good as what you get on the M20 or M46 rather. So it's just very. What is this guy doing? What? Okay, he just shot a smoke shell at me. He must have forgotten. That was lucky on my part. But so you see these things where, you know, this is quite a bit better. In fact, actually, the turret traverse on this is so good that you don't see turret traverse that's this good until the, well, I shouldn't say that, but the M1 Abrams tank has turret traverse that's only slightly better than this. So this has, again, just around a touch above 30 degrees per second. The M1 Abrams has like 34 degrees per second. Again, non-expert crew, fully spaded, you know, so they have the turret drive and all that. That just kind of tells you how good this is. It's got a 50% better turret traverse rate than even the M48A1, which is supposed to have come after this. So, you know, it kind of raises an interesting question. What do you do? What do you pick up? And I think that, of course, being that this is an optional vehicle, whereas the M48A1, if I'm not mistaken, is not optional, you, of course, go with the M48A1. I'm not suggesting you do not do that in favor of this. However, what I will tell you is that this is an excellent vehicle to really round out your lineup. I've been thoroughly impressed with the M47 thus far. And even though it's a totally optional vehicle, I'm actually glad that I have it and have grinded with it. Ooh, that's a lot of vehicles. Holy guacamole. Woo! Okay. Anyways, you know what? I'm not even going to be upset with it. That was kind of inevitable where I was. But that said, just to kind of let this off on a positive note here, I know the last match, not a very good match, albeit, whatever. But I'll just kind of finish it off here, again, stock to spaded, in that I like the M47 a lot. I feel that it is a very good vehicle. I feel that the M47 is worth it. It's got a very good mix of power, of mobility, decent armor, and just overall capability. Plus, it has that rangefinder, which helps to have you shoot at longer ranges, or even somewhat close ranges, fairly accurately. So, overall, very impressive vehicle. It's for those who like more agility, especially being that it's got that 30 degree per second turret traverse, and it's got a very good mobility, as opposed to, for example, the M46 or the M48A1, which are both worse in those categories, except for the mobility. One could argue that the M46 is pretty much identical to this, insofar as power to weight ratio is concerned, but you know, ultimately, I would say the M47 definitely is a very good vehicle, and look at that, it's got a second assist, so 1 kill, 2 assists, not too bad, but the M47 is definitely worth looking at, and possibly might be better than the M48, except for the fact, one key thing here, the M48 has a much, much better armor profile than the M47 does. So that said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, I am very, very interested to see your opinions on this subject. But either way, thanks again, guys. And, well, I didn't get a kill. I will see you all. Oh, there you go. I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.